When you shop small, you support a dream. This is the motto of a new initiative in town, Project PopUp. For this, Needham has partnered with Up Next, a Newton-based and women-owned business that specializes in pop-up stores. They hope it offers a win-win situation. Vacant storefronts are filled temporarily as retail and artistic venues. This unique opportunity for the entrepreneurs, artists, and real estate owners alike also helps revitalize the Needham community as we emerge from the pandemic. Tonight's story is part one of a two-part series on the project.
Project PopUp came to fruition through a few ongoing conversations that were then accelerated by the Massachusetts Office of Business Development's grant initiative tied to, revitalizing communities coming out of the pandemic. So earlier this year, they put forth a grant opportunity that the City of Newton and Town of Needham picked up on. And so they approached us at Up Next about helping to facilitate that and create a program that could activate storefronts for the season.
We did receive the grant in April and began planning pretty immediately.
Well, the timeline was a challenge. It was a very fast-moving project, so we needed to turn everything around as quickly as possible. And one of the challenges, I would say, was also securing the right landlords and spaces for the mix. It's something that landlords are becoming more and more open to hosting pop-ups, but it's still an education process.
So the landlords reduced the monthly rent, but then the remainder of the rent was then split between the grant monies and then the entrepreneur themselves.
We did go through a pretty comprehensive matchmaking process to figure out, what would be the right fit for the area, what adds and doesn't duplicate, how can we incorporate businesses that are passionate and driven and have a vision for their space, and that also are, happy to be collaborating with their neighbors and creating a draw for the whole area.
One of two pop-ups in town, Westleaf Design and Decor, is located at 1020 Great Plain Avenue. They specialize in indoor plants and are featuring artist Myra Abelson.
I actually started off selling plants out of the trunk of my car in a Dunkin' Donuts literally 6 months ago. I went from the trunk of my car to here. And when the pandemic hit, I started going through some of the hardest things in my personal life, and I chose to turn to plants. I just posted my journey of how plant care can be self-care, and with watering the plants, I'm taking care of myself. And I think that really, really resonated with people, especially having been stuck in the house and going through all the stressors. It was a time where anything you've been avoiding in your life, you basically had to face. And I decorated my house with plants. I started posting it, and a ton of people were asking me to come decorate their houses. So that's pretty much the business created itself, really. We pretty much knew 2 weeks prior that we would have the space, and I did not have enough plants for that to happen. So I did take a trip to New York, and there is a Black-owned nursery there that I was able to source a ton of my plants from, and that's why they're so gorgeous and healthy. And a lot of them you actually can't really find here, so they import from all over, so I'm able to bring a very exclusive selection. I take the plants in for at least 3 weeks prior to them touching any of my showroom floors, because a lot of times the plants come home from the nursery sick, and you also get all the education that you need to keep the plant alive as well. I feel my job really is to take away the stigma of owning a plant.
We looked at the aesthetic for each space, and we had a really great pool of artist applicants and paired them up synergistically to see what would be a fit.
And I looked at the space and the walls, and I kind of think my paintings will work well in there. One of the things that's exciting is the fact that I am now in a new community. I don't know how many people in Needham have had an opportunity to see my work. I know that many have come here through Newton Open Studio, but I can probably count them on 2 hands. So now I get an opportunity to have my work on Great Plain Avenue.
Westleaf Designs and Decor will remain on Great Plain Avenue throughout the rest of the summer. For more information about Westleaf Designs, visit their website at westleafdesignsandDecor.com. And for more on Project PopUp, please visit projectpopup.com. For the Needham Channel News, I'm Jessica Burks.